Welcome to our channel. In this video, we'll see how we can create an external captive portal featuring payment plans and integrating a payment gateway like Stripe. So let's get into it. In this example, we'll be using Stripe as the payment gateway. So let's go to Stripe. Currently, we are in a test environment. It's recommended to initially test everything in a sandbox environment before enabling it in production. So first we'll go to API keys and note the secret key and publishable key from Stripe. We'll copy the keys and save them as we'll be needing them later. Next, we'll go to product catalog and create a new product. Let's enter a name for it, such as daily plan. We'll select one of pricing. Let's put the price to be $5. Once the product has been created, we'll click on it and we'll see that there's a product ID here, so we'll copy that. Then we'll click on the price to get a price ID. We'll copy that as well. Next, we'll go to this application called Splash Air, which our team has developed for managing external captive portals. We'll be using it in this example to create a captive portal with payment plans. Here we are going to go to global settings. In global settings, we'll go all the way down to Stripe payments and enable Stripe payments. We will enter the publishable key and secret key that we just copied from Stripe. Next, we will go to plans and create a payment plan. We'll give a name to it, such as daily plan, and we can enter a description. The price is going to be $5. It has to match the price that we created in Stripe earlier. Next, we have to select the duration for which the plan will be active. In Stripe, we'll enter the product ID and price ID that we just copied. And in upload speed and download speed, we will enter the speed that the user should get. Similarly, we will enter a volume cap and the maximum number of devices that a user is allowed to use. We'll create the plan. Next, we'll go to templates and create a new template. We'll enter a name for it, and then we can customize this template by changing the logo and the fields of the form. In this case, let's just select first name and email, and the flow type is going to be payment. After creating the payment template, we will use this template in a portal. We will enter a name for this portal. In hardware type, we'll select Mikrotik with radius, and then we'll enter a site ID for it. Now the portal has been created. We will copy the guest portal URL as we are going to use that in the Mikrotik configuration later. For configuring the Mikrotik router, this is our documentation that you can review for details. We are quickly going to go through these steps to show you how it is going to be done. In this section, we will download this file and save it to our computer. It's a zip file, so we are going to unzip that. We will open the login.html file in the text editor. In action, we'll enter the URL that we just copied. Next, we will configure our Mikrotik router. So let's open it in Winbox. We'll go to IP hotspot and click on hotspot setup. The interface in this case is going to be bridge, and then we'll just click on next all the way to the end of the setup. Then we'll go to server profiles and select HTTP PAP option. We will uncheck all the other options. In radius, we will enable the use radius option. In user profiles, we will disable MAC cookie, and in share users, we can select the number of simultaneous users which are allowed to use the same login credentials. Here we will enter the IP address of our external captive portal server, and we will also whitelist the domains of Stripe so that the user can use Stripe while being in captive state. There are a few domains that need to be whitelisted, such as api.stripe.com and checkout.stripe.com. Similarly, files.stripe.com and a few others. The whole list is available in our product documentation in the walled garden section. We'll add all these entries one by one. Once that is done, we will next go to radius. We will add our radius server by entering the IP address and secret of our radius server. In service, we will select hotspot. The final step is that we will go to files and upload the files that we had created. We will delete the existing alogin.html and login.html files and upload the files that we have on our desktop. We have to make sure that the files are uploaded to the hotspot folder. So all the configuration is now done on Mikrotik. We can next go to our device and see how the captive portal looks like. Let's click on the Mikrotik SSID. The captive portal pops up. Here we'll enter our first name and email, and then we can enter a username and password to create a new user. Then we will enter the details of our test card along with the CVC and the zip code. The card has been accepted and our user has been authorized on the internet. Next, we can run a speed test to make sure that the bandwidth rate limits that we had defined are being applied correctly. So we can see that the user has 2 Mbps download and 1 Mbps upload speed limit applied on their session. If we go to Stripe, we can see that the transaction has been recorded here as a successful transaction. On SplashAir, we can go to customers and we can see the details of the customer, the plan that they subscribe to, and their first name and email address. So that's it for today. We hope you found this video useful. Thanks and have a nice day.